Hello, and welcome to Select 10. If you're searching for the most current Netflix 2024 releases, you've come to the correct spot. Today we will highlight new movies and series that have been launched on Netflix in the past few weeks. From staggering action and thriller dramas to science fiction and fantasy, Netflix has plenty for everyone. So, whether you're in the mood for a weekend marathon or simply want to remain up to date on the latest content discoveries, these are the top recommendations you shouldn't miss. Now let's start the video. Number 10. The Union. It is a 2024 spy action comedy thriller film directed by Julian Farino. The narrative centers on Mike McKenna, an engineer from New Jersey, whose life takes a bizarre turn when his close companion Roxanne Hall comes back out of nowhere and tells him that she is an operative of an unidentified organization and that she requires his assistance in recovering a list that contains the real names of secret agents across the globe. While undergoing rigorous preparation for the mission, Mike and Roxanne are forced to face their previous connection, which rekindles memories as they cooperate. Although The Union lacks the excitement and action typically associated with a typical spy action film, Wahlberg and Barry's acting combination makes it difficult to ignore. Though they try their hardest, their chemistry falls short of what is needed to make The Union more than simply another action movie on Netflix. The plot is rather straightforward and predictable, but there are some excellent action scenes. Thus, just give this some thought if you're seeking to see only some good action. Number 9. Shamran. It is a fantasy drama series directed by Umar Turagay. In Shamran's second season, the central plot revolves around Sasu and Marin's romance. However, Lilith, the sister of the Shamran, who were imprisoned in the past, is released from her underworld dungeon and starts to create havoc between the spirit and human worlds. As the second season progresses, Sasu and Marin are forced to face their previous histories and futures while attempting to stop Lilith. If you're unfamiliar with the show, it centers on Sasu, an aspiring professor who learns an unpleasant truth that links her to the mystery of Shamran, a half-snake, half-human entity. While Season 2 expands upon its predecessor's qualities, it also bears some of its flaws. There is an imbalance in the pace, some episodes move quickly, while others drag on. Occasionally, the series' intricate narratives can be challenging to follow due to their dense narration. Still, the show's distinct fusion of drama and mythology makes it stand out. Overall, Season 2 is an engaging continuation of the series, with an increase in the supernatural mystery, as well as complex character relationships that audiences have come to anticipate. For those who are interested in its mythological setting, it's still worth seeing in spite of some of its flaws. Number 8. Nice Girls. It is a comedy action film directed by Nomi Saglio. The plot centers around Leo, a detective who strives to find out the truth about her fellow officer's murder in Germany. However, when Leo is forced to make way for a German cop, Melanie, who shows out to be extremely experienced, she refuses to give in and is compelled to collaborate with Melanie, navigating their conflicting and explosive personalities while they learn about an impending threat and come to understand how much their lives are interconnected. The movie celebrates its comedic identity with sharp dialogue and amusing character representations set against a background of dishonest law enforcement officers and cybercriminals. The plot combines smart conversation, jaw-dropping views, and a writing style that focuses more on amusing with silliness and foolish comedy than on revolutionizing the genre. Although it lacks creative brilliance, the acting and endearing instability of its characters are what make it so charming. The movie invites audiences to unwind and enjoy a fun movie viewing while humorously mocking both modern movies and the norms of society. Number 7. Terror Tuesday: Extreme. It is a horror anthology series created by Chayan Lauiadrakul. There are 8 standalone episodes in the series, featuring a wide range of horror stories, including doomed artifacts and ghostly places, as well as studies on psychology gone awry. What unites them is the show's creativity in tackling its dark and severe subjects, frequently with a surprising conclusion that leaves viewers doubting reality. The first episode opens with Elle dying in a horrific automobile accident, leaving her sister I suffering from PTSD. As a result, their mother finds an approach that allows Elle's ghost to be called upon, which soon, to their surprise, transforms their house into a horrifying place. All 8 stories are based on Thai horror radio broadcasts and are claimed to be actual stories submitted by show viewers. Overall, it is a must-see for horror fans who like unique stories. Though its strong and frequently unpleasant nature may not be suitable for the weak of heart, its blend of mental horror, supernatural themes, and dramatic storytelling offers plenty for every kind of horror enthusiast. Number 6. Damper. It is a 2022 fantasy horror film directed by Ricardo Camello. The film revolves around Harlan Draka, an enigmatic being referred to as a damper, who is the offspring of a human and a vampire. In a war-torn setting, Harlan finds out who he really is and what his mission is when he becomes drawn into a battle between humans and magical creatures. The story develops as Harlan fights formidable vampires with a squad of rebel warriors, dealing with outside foes and his own personal problems. Although Damper stays true to the original comic series, it suffers from exposition-heavy sections that hamper the plot's progress. Additionally, the movie makes extensive use of genre cliches, which may seem predictable to seasoned fantasy and horror enthusiasts. Nonetheless, both newbies and comic book lovers will find the adaptation to be worthwhile due to the compelling character development and dark visuals. Overall, it's an impressive gothic fantasy horror film that effectively depicts the harsh environments of the comics on screen. Its combination of action, horror, and character-centered narration makes it an enjoyable watch for fans of dark supernatural mysteries. Number 5. The Decameron. It is a medieval dark comedy series created by Kathleen Jordan. The drama centers on a group of people who flee to a secluded villa in order to avoid the mayhem during a horrific outbreak of Black Death. The show explores a variety of themes about morality, deceit, and romantic relationships, while the characters spend the time telling each other adventures. Every episode tells a distinct tale of human experiences and transports viewers to a forgotten era with its lavish period-appropriate attire and surroundings, creating a breathtaking visual aesthetic. The whole cast adds dimension to a diverse range of characters, each having their own distinct story. But, because of the episodic nature, particular narratives are better than others, resulting in sometimes inconsistent flow. Even in its weaker episodes, the series' examination of timeless topics makes it engaging to watch. In general, the series presents a contemporary interpretation of beloved stories with an abundance of layers. Even though some episodes fall short of expectations, the entire series offers a provocative look at how people behave when faced with difficult choices, all encapsulated in stunning scenery and powerful acting. Number 4. The Umbrella Academy Season 4. The long-awaited fourth and final season of the series returns, following the dysfunctional Hargreaves household as they face new obstacles, time-traveling perils, and an impending doomsday. Following the finale of Season 3, the siblings Hargreaves ended up without their special abilities, struggling with their helplessness and the mental repercussions of their previous deeds. Throughout the season, the siblings attempt to navigate more normal lives, but when a fresh apocalyptic danger develops, they are compelled to return to fight and face the impending danger linked to the modified timeline. As they face these dynamics within their family and long-held conflict erupt, putting their relationship to the test like never before. Season 4 concludes the Hargreaves saga, offering elevated stakes, surprising twists, and an answer to the riddles that have been developing since the start of the series. While the last season does a commendable job of closing up all the loose ends, several plotlines seem rushed, as if the last episodes are attempting to pack in all they can. However, the emotional outcome, as well as the series' signature mix of offbeat humor and solid moments, makes for good ending. Number 3. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It is a crime mystery series based on the 2019 book of the same name by Holly Jackson. The show centers on Pip, a clever middle school girl who feels that the wrong individual was found guilty in the grisly murder of Andy Bell, a famous girl from her community, and seeks to reopen the case. As Pip investigates the case, she uncovers a network of lies and deception that calls into question her understanding of the facts and the law. Every episode deepens the story, building to a suspenseful and surprising conclusion. Plus, throwback methods are employed well throughout the series to compare Pip's study with actual events. Although the series stays true to the original work, it occasionally overuses teenage cliches, which makes the plot somewhat predictable. Nevertheless, the fascinating mystery and superbly developed characters more than make up for these small flaws. The show is appropriate for both mature and younger audiences, given that it deftly addresses darker issues as well. Overall, it's a clever, worthwhile adaptation that effectively brings the book's rich story and memorable characters to the big screen. It combines the suspense of a murder mystery with the psychological weight of a story about growing up, making it a must-see for fans of the genre. Number 2. Kalki, 2898 AD. It is a 2024 epic science fiction film directed by Nag Ashwin. The story begins in the year 2898 on dystopian Earth and centers around oppressive dictatorship led by Supreme Yaskin, the leader of the complex where aristocrats live. The main plot revolves around Yaskin's dubious experiments, in which his army kidnap women from the streets and uses them as subjects for his research. However, things take an unexpected turn when one of the women escapes and becomes a target for Yaskin and the entire bounty hunting community. The main character of the story is Bhairava, a bounty seeker who aspires to enter the complex. And in order to do that, he sets out to kidnap the woman and face an ancient warrior who is protecting woman. Although it is a bold movie that tries to mix many genres and topics, there are moments when the range of themes becomes too much to handle. But in spite of these flaws, the movie stands out in the genre thanks to its creative concept and cultural relevance. All things considered, Kalki 2898 AD is a visual extravaganza that boasts a strong plot, outstanding action scenes, and a concentration on magnificent epic backdrops that highlight the movie's mythical foundations. Number 1. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. The narrative centers on a motley crew of outcast explorers who come together to find a magical relic that could alter the course of their destiny. The group is commanded by an intriguing outlaw named Edgen and consists of a formidable fighter Holga, a crafty sorcerer, and an enigmatic shapeshifter. Their quest takes them through dangerous environments, ancient tunnels, and confrontations with both friends and foes as they learn truths that test their faith and courage. The movie is a visual extravaganza with elaborate, rich settings that vividly depict the Dungeons & Dragons universe. The visual effects are excellent, especially when depicting magical enchantments, legendary beings, and spectacular combat sequences. Overall, the movie does a good job of capturing the spirit of the game, even though it sometimes relies too much on fan service, which could turn off viewers who aren't familiar with the original work. Though interesting, the plot follows a very standard fantasy adventure pattern, so fans of the genre may find it predictable. Nonetheless, the movie is an enjoyable and engaging journey thanks to its appeal, action, wit, and approach to world building. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.